I know you have some different questions, but you're trying to get us something similar, and this is not going to come in that.
Thank you, guys.
About whether you
That'll be all.
still stand by that vote.
Do you guys remember when RFK Jr. was getting confirmed and going through the Senate, and people were saying this is going to be the most dangerous confirmation potentially of this entire administration? And we definitely know that Republicans all jumped on board because they're afraid of this guy. One of those people was Senator Thom Tillis. Here he is talking about the reasons why he decided to confirm RFK Jr., despite them seeing right in front of them what's going on.
To the committee and to Cassidy personally.
That's right. Well,
and Cassidy has come to the conclusion that those were not truthful
I
promises and assertions.
Cassidy was willing to vote. If Cassidy had voted no on Kennedy, I would have voted no, because that's how much stock I put in Bill Cassidy's technical expertise. He's an extraordinary, brilliant person. But I think he appropriately was going to give Kennedy a chance to say, look, we're going to cut through the rhetoric. We're just going to see.
Haley, thank you so much.
Can I grab anything else?
No, we're great.
I think we're good.
Excellent. Thank you.
He said, as a practical matter, we need to see if he's going to be right on vaccines. And he's drifting a bit.
Thom Tillis said that RFK Jr. is drifting a little bit on his conversations about vaccines. But Thom Tillis said he believed in Bill Cassidy, a medical doctor, a Republican senator, his colleague, because he gave him a chance. I want to give you guys a step-by-step breakdown of what it is that Bill Cassidy said that convinced people like Thom Tillis, who don't know to then trust him, even though they all knew. This is what Bill Cassidy said right before they then went to confirm RFK Jr., who's now trying to kill us.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a statement regarding my vote in committee to, on behalf of Robert F. Kennedy, to be the Secretary of HHS. Before entering politics, before ever thinking about running for political office, I practiced medicine for 30 years in a public hospital for the uninsured, caring for those who otherwise would not have been able to afford the access to the care that I provided. After seeing patients die from vaccine-preventable diseases, I dedicated much of my time to vaccine research and immunization programs, personally witnessing the safety monitoring and the effectiveness of immunization. Put simply, vaccines save lives. This is the context that informed me when considering RFK as the nominee to be Secretary of the Department of Health and Human Services.
Bill Cassidy believes in vaccines. Bill Cassidy worked in areas where he saw the evidence of vaccines saving lives. That wasn't Bill Cassidy talking about some lib hippie that said vaccines save lives. That was Bill Cassidy, senator from Louisiana, saying that vaccines save lives. And he had his reservations about RFK Jr. because RFK Jr. said vaccines kill.
Now, the most notable opponents of Mr. Kennedy were pediatricians on the front lines of our children's health, who regularly have to combat misinformation, combating vaccine skepticism with correct information that comes from their education, their training, and experience as physicians. They are aware of the falling vaccine rates and the inevitability of increasing hospitalizations and deaths of children from vaccine-preventable diseases. They are aware that children are now contracting diseases that they would not have contracted if the child was vaccinated.
Not only does Bill Cassidy have any knowledge against what RFK Jr. was preaching, but so do pediatricians, the number one group, he said, on top of his own knowledge, that were against RFK Jr.'s confirmation was pediatricians. As this Kennedy guy keeps talking about how he's looking to protect the children. It's always the children they're looking to protect right before they attack children. More of Bill Cassidy and how he then went around from all that knowledge, all that concrete evidence, that great case that he made against voting for RFK Jr. This is then what he said. Is what's going to make him come around on him.
Now, regarding vaccines, Mr. Kennedy has been insistent that he just wants good science and to ensure safety. But on this topic, the science is good. The science is credible. Vaccines save lives. They are safe. They do not cause autism. There are multiple studies that show this. They are a crucial part of our nation's public health response. Now, Mr. Kennedy and the administration reached out seeking to reassure me regarding their commitment to protecting the public health benefit of vaccination. To this end, Mr. Kennedy and the administration committed that he and I would have an unprecedentedly close collaborative working relationship if he is confirmed. We will meet or speak multiple times a month. This collaboration will allow us to work well together and therefore to be more effective. Mr. Kennedy has asked for my input into hiring decisions at HHS beyond Senate-confirmed positions, and this aspect of the collaboration will allow us to represent all sides of those folks who are contacting me over this past weekend. He has also committed that he would work within current vaccine approval and safety monitoring systems and not establish parallel systems. If confirmed, he will maintain the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention's Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices recommendations without changes. CDC will not remove statements on their website pointing out that vaccines do not cause autism.
He said it again. Vaccines do not cause autism. And we started this whole thing with RFK Jr. going on about we have to make sure we get rid of all these things that's happening with public health because they cause autism. He's not going to name what all those things are because he has no effing clue. He's just going on with what it is that he's saying. But again, Bill Cassidy, who Thom Tillis told us is a very smart guy, a medical doctor who was a doctor before he became a senator. That was then before he became a Republican senator whose primary job was no longer to take care of patients or have any kind of sensibility about what he is and what he knows, but it's to follow Donald Trump. It's to toe the line of partisanship. It's to then say, because Donald Trump is stupid, and it's because he then nominated an even dumber person in RFK Jr. on this issue, that I just have to go along with it because they assured me that they're going to work with me and not do all the things that they're doing right now.
These commitments and my expectation that we can have a great working relationship to make America healthy again is the basis of my support. He will be the secretary, but I believe he will also be a partner in working for this end. If Mr. Kennedy is confirmed, I will use my authority as chairman of the Senate Committee with oversight of HHS to rebuff any attempt to remove the public's access to life-saving vaccines without ironclad, causational, scientific evidence that can be accepted and defended before the mainstream scientific community and before Congress. I will watch carefully for any effort to wrongfully sow public fear about vaccines between confusing references of coincidence and anecdote. But my support is built on assurances that this will not have to be a concern and that he and I can work together to build an agenda to make America healthy again. We need a leader at HHS who will guide President Trump's agenda to make America healthy again. Based on Mr. Kennedy's assurances on vaccines and his platform to positively influence Americans' health, it is my consideration that he will get this done.
It looks like your consideration was wrong. That last consideration, I mean, all the other considerations and the mentions of reality and vaccines, those were right, but you suppressed and buried those. And then went along with this. So you're on the hook, bro. Your hands are bloody. So as people then get sick and as people die and as research is taken away from all those things I was talking about, hypertension, cancer, all these other ailments, it's not just when it comes to vaccines and COVID, which they're taking away right now. Where's that power going to kick in that you said you now have to veto these things and make sure he doesn't eliminate people's access to vaccines? When is that going to start? I feel like someone should probably ask Senator Bill Cassidy what he now thinks after he had that very long, extensive, well thought out speech. Manu Raju asked him how he feels. I want you guys to watch this.
Do you regret your vote on RFK Jr.?
You know, Manu,
you can refer to our tweet on that.
I'm asking a question. And I know you have some different questions, but you're trying to get at something similar. And this is not going to come.
Thank you,
How
guys.
about whether you
That'll be all.
still stand by that vote?
Senator Bill Cassidy ran his cowardly ass away. I know what you're trying to get from this. I know you're trying to ask questions about whether or not I regret my vote, my well thought out, excuse ridden vote. Do I regret it? I'm not going to comment on it. I'm gonna highlight this. People's lives are at danger. People already have lost their lives. Folks are going to get very sick. Public health is at risk. That's according to what Bill Cassidy said. Children won't be vaccinated. Children will get sick. Children have gotten sick. We've had measles outbreaks already. And all that is happening to regular Americans who pay money in taxes. And the guy who said you should trust me said, I have no comment. So the next time somebody says that you've got Trump derangement syndrome and that you hate Donald Trump just because anytime this guy's brought up, you're obsessed with just hating him, point out the fact that they want you dead. And then ask yourself, would you dislike the guy that wants you dead? And that's actively implementing policies that'll get that done as quickly as possible.